Hi everyone. What I have in front of me is the review assignment module 2 file, and we've kind of worked our way through step 12. Um, just want to go over a couple things here, but mainly I want to go over the print title stuff. So um, in step 12, it asks to create a legend after you do the conditional formatting, which is very similar to what's in the book. But one thing that's a little weird is if you click on this, uh, you can have the conditional formatting pick up this area. So you type in top sellers, you go to home, you go to the styles group, and then you click on conditional formatting. And what you want is the highlight cells rules, and you want the text that contains. So what it's going to find is top sellers here, and by default it'll always go to the light red with the dark red, and you can just go to the green fill. You can even add a custom format if you ever wanted to, and you click OK, and then it'll keep the same color as what you did for the top 10%. Okay, but the part that I think is the most confusing, and I can't show it for what Mac users are going to use because you don't have the page break view button, but it starts in step 13. So what they want you to do is basically say that in this document, you're going to make this section one page to print, this section one page to print, and this section. And we're going to have repeating titles such as this, and then the two columns here. So you'll have these in each one. So the first thing they want you to do is set the print area, and so we're going to go to the page layout tab, and in the page setup group there is this part called print area. So what we're going to do, it says we're going to highlight what they ask us to do, which is A1 to F19, and then we're going to hold the control key down, and we're going to highlight A20 to O46. Okay, and then we're going to go back to print area, and we're going to click set print area. Okay, then it wants you to switch to page break preview, which is on the bottom right. If you hover, we're right now in the normal view, there's a page layout view, and then there's a page break preview. So let's see what that shows. So right now it looks as if this has uh, is kind of doing what we want it to do. But if it didn't, you may have another page break, and I'm going to show you what yours might look like. So I'll just put in another page break. I'll put in a page break uh, just here. Let me put in one, and let me do it. Okay, so I put in a page break here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if yours has either an auto page break or a manual page break, you can get rid of those rather easily. So what you do is that it becomes a two-headed arrow, and then you can just drag it over to the page break you want, and now you only have one page break there, one page break here, and so you have 1, 2, 3 pages, which is what they want. So you can get rid of manual page breaks very easily. If you have like yours kind of chopped up, it may be because you didn't set the print area accurately. So right now we're on step yeah, so it says it should fit on this pages there. Uh, um, so it says it should fit on 3 pages, but you'll see that there are some problems that you're not going to get it to print on 3 pages if you don't change the orientation. So Now it says the part D, it says create print titles. So the first three rows print and the first two columns print. So where that is in the same area, page layout, you're going to go to print titles, and in the rows to repeat, we're gonna click on here, and then we're just gonna highlight from the left, just bring so we're gonna go to, whoops, sorry, 2 3. So it's going to go the first three rows, and don't worry about how Excel puts that in. They use kind of an absolute reference to the cell. And then we're going to do the columns. So we'll click in here, or in this space, and we're just going to highlight columns A and B because that's what they wanted. All right. Um, while we're in here, we can go to the margins, and we're going to make this one, it may have been at zero point 0.7, and we're going to go up to 1. But if you click on the upper, it doesn't give you a 1. It gives you, as close as it does is a 0.95 inch. So we're just going to type in 1, and then and oh, one thing we did forget to do was scale it. So there's a couple ways we'll just click OK. We can scale it over here in the scale to fit, and we're going to bring that down to 70. Okay, so now it's at 70%. And then the next part, I'm sorry I jumped around a bit. So we finished this, we've done the breaks, we've done the scaling to 70%, we've done the print titles, we've done the margin, and we're going to create headers and footers for the printout with a different first page. Now again, Mac users are going to have a little bit different way of doing this. The easiest way to get to the headers and footer pages is the typical page setup dialog box. So we're going to go back to here, page setup, and we're going to go to the header and footer tab. Now to get that first page footer, and if you didn't get to it, you're going to see little, well, I'll show you what the difference is going to look like. So if I go right now to custom header, you're not going to have that first page header what they're talking about, so I'm going to cancel that. So first of all, click on that different first page. Now when we go to custom header, you can see that it has the first page header tab. So it says for the first page header, it says print prepared by, and then your name in the right section. So we're going to click in the right, first of all, we're going to click on the tab, the first page header. Now we're going to click on the right section. We're going to say prepared by, and you're going to put your name, not my name, your name. And then we're going to click on the header tab, and that's going to be for the rest of the pages. So then it wants, it says print file name followed by the file name on the left section. So so in the left section, we're going to say file name, colon, and then there's an icon here called file name. So let's see where that is. It is over, let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? I think it might be, is that the worksheet? Let me just double check here. This is the date, this is a file path, and this is the file name. So here's where we're going to click on is the file name. All right, and it has this little symbol with an ampersand in file. Now, so that's good. And is there anything else it wants in there? Oh, the date in the right. So on the right, we're going to put the date, and that is here. And then we'll click OK. And then we're going to go to the custom footer. And the custom footer is going to be, it says for every footer, including the first page, print page, followed by the page number, and then followed by the total number of pages in the printout in the center section. So we're going to do this twice. So in the center section, we're going to say page, we're going to type in page, and then now we're going to click in page number, and that's this icon there. Then we're going to type in the word of, and then we're going to type this icon, which just click on this icon, which is going to put in the number of pages. So for example, it'll say page 1 of 3, page 2 of 3, page 3 of 3. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the first page footer. Um, and I think it did it. Let's say footer, first page footer. We're good. So it did it for both. All right, and then we're going to click OK. Um, and then the last part is preview the printout to verify that the company name and description appear on every page, and the menu category and so forth with the units sold table. And then it wants it to be in portrait orientation, but I'll show you what may look a little different. So let's click on the print preview button, and this is in um, uh, the this is in portrait mode, so we can see there's page 1, there's page 2, page 3, and page 4. And I think this is a problem because it's not supposed to have broken there. So I'll show you why the book is a little bit off. And there's one quick remedy to get this to page 3 pages. And since this is kind of a width issue, all we have to do is go over here to the left and go from portrait to landscape. All right. So watch what happens. Now we have 3 pages. So let's go look at that. And then you can see what they have. So you see that the first 3 rows are going to print on each one. You see you have prepared by, and then you see you have page 1 of 3. Then the second one should have the file name and the 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 date, and page 2. And this is the second of the first. This is broken into 2 parts, right? It went from here to June, and then it goes from July to December with the total. So that's kind of what it should look like at the very end, and hopefully you found this helpful. When you print this, it should look something like that. All right, good luck, and I hope yours came out like this. Thank you.